Hey y'all, this is Dina. Welcome to my channel. Okay, so last night I decided I wanted to make another album using envelopes. And I don't know if you've seen my previous video about a month or so ago, where I made this album using envelopes. And I decided I wanted to make another one, and I had some more envelopes and cards, just the same kind of cards, just like these, except they're a little bit smaller. So pretty excited. I had so much fun making this. This was a pretty time-consuming process here, but I've already got a lot of it started, so hopefully this won't take as long, because I worked on the pages and stuff last night, just getting the base down. So anyway, let me see if I can take you along with me. Okay, so let's go ahead and make the base. And actually, let me show you too. This is the paper collection that I used. This album that I'm making can be made out of 6x6 paper pad. That's the one thing about it. And let me just show you how much paper is left out of this after I've made, because I made 5 different pages. This is what I've got left, y'all. I have these 3 pieces right here, and it's for the cover. So that's all I have left. Other than that, I have wiped out this beautiful paper pad. For the bases inside here, you see the pink sticking out. I actually utilized this right here, and I did all the different pinks so that way I can have them all different. So yeah, I was like so proud. I wiped out with one album this whole 6x6. Okay, so the only paper that you're going to need that's going to be larger than the 6x6 is this right here for the base for the cover. And so I've already gone ahead. I scored myself a line, and I always score myself a line about 1.25 inches or an inch or so over. That way I have a guide of where I'm going to line these up, because I need to make the cover for my album. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. And let's see here. I'm going to see if I go this way. And I'm going to line this up with the bottom. If you only pull off a little bit of that tape, which sometimes I forget, if you line it up right there and you get that down, then all you have to do is just pull it off, and there you go. If you're a pro at making these, you already know what to do. Okay, I'm gonna move you out just a little bit so it's not so close for you. Okay, so now that I've got this, what I like to do too is you can draw a score line if you like. Just kind of give yourself a little guide. And before I joined these, I probably should have did that. But I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and use my scoreboard. I'm going to get myself a 1-inch line started, okay? 1-inch line. That way then I kind of have a guide of where I want to line these up. And let's move these out of the way. I'm going to do the same thing over here, and I know it's hard for you to see. You don't even need the line all the way across. I just like to have that line there. That way then it makes it easier when I'm lining up all my chipboard and everything. Okay, so got a little stuff going over here. I've kept it pretty clean this week. Super proud of myself. Kept it pretty clean. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Okay, now I've already took my pieces of chipboard, and let me tell you, my chipboards, they are measuring, let's see what I got here, 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. So you need 2 of those. For the spine, I'm doing 1 3/4 by, let's see, 1 3/4 by 4 3/4, of course. So there we go. Okay, so I've gone ahead on one of my chipboards and peeled the tape off. And all I'm going to do is, now that I've got my little line up here and I've flipped it around, I've got my little score line right here. I'm just going to line this up along that score line. Get that pressed down. We're going to be trimming some off, so it's okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put the spine piece. And if you want, you can just eyeball it. Put it up as close to this line as you can. You can eyeball it, or you can use another piece of chipboard as a guide. Sorry about my arm, y'all. You can always do this. Lean that up against there, and I know it's kind of hard for you to see, but it's about this width. And I got that a little bit too far down. I want to go back, I want to go up a little bit. That's what happens when you're not standing over it looking down at it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now let's do this one. I've had people that ask me, how do I cut chipboard? I use an old paper trimmer with an old blade, and yeah, that's all I do. Super simple. You just cut it several times and it will come right in half. Okay, now for this one, still got a little bit of my score line there. I'm just gonna eyeball it. And there we go. And that's what we need. Get this pressed down really good. Let me grab my scissors. I'm going to cut it off over here on this edge. Approximately like an inch. Just eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to cut this one at about an inch out. You can go ahead and have this cut ahead of time if you want, or you can just trim it off, it's fine. Okay, so this is what we need for our cover. Now I'm just going to take this corners. I could use my little miter corner thing. I don't know what I did with it. I've got it somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. I'll find it. You're just gonna kind of eyeball it, kind of cut the corners there. Cut. And cut. Just like that. Okay, so you're leaving just a little bit on the edge there. I am far from being a pro at making these. I always just say, just try and try again. That's all you do. Okay, so now I'm going to use some of my score tape here, or my double-sided tape. Get myself a nice strip of tape going along the edge over here. And get that all the way around. You can use glue if you want. Just going to use tape. This is easy. Sometimes a little bit more sturdy. One more side. Okay, so there is that. Let's go ahead, make sure we got this pressed down really well. Y'all, it's like almost 100 degrees outside. It's hot. It's hot. Feel bad for my hubby. My hubby works in a shop and it's hot. I pray that, you know, he stays hydrated, and he's been doing it for years, but still I worry for him. Okay, so now all you're gonna do is, now that you got tape pulled off, I always just take it, kind of put this edges down with the bottom of your, or the edge of your desk, and fold it over. Press it down really good. Okay, we're gonna do this other side. Do the same thing. Press it over. There you go. This will be, I will be putting several albums if we are able to have craft fair this year. I don't know if we are or not, y'all. I really don't. But if we are able to have craft fair, I will be putting some albums in my craft fair. Probably not too many, just a few, and I'm not really sure pricing yet. Closer to time, if we are able to have the craft fair. I'll let you guys know. I'll come back and let you know what I would charge. So I am going to include this on my craft fair series for this year. Okay, since I put glue on there, I'm not going to flip it over. And there you go. Get that down. I put the glue because I didn't get the tape close enough to the edge. Okay, let's do this other side. Get this peeled off. We'll be able to move on. Okay, I'm going to add a little glue over here too. I just want this to stay down good. Pinch these little corners in. And there you go. Press down really good. Okay. Okay, so there we go. We got the base star cover. I'm gonna get this. Okay, now I've already made my binding for the spine and everything to put on the spine. I've already got this made, but I'm gonna quickly show you how I did this, because if this is your first time watching something like this, then you're gonna wanna know. But anyway, yep, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And there you go. It's a good size. It's a good size album, y'all. Good size. Let's see, I'm gonna make sure. We want to make sure you're seeing everything good. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is let's make this first, and I'm just gonna tell you what I did as far as the dimensions. The binding is 10 inches in length, and then 4 1/4 in width. So I'm going to show you quickly how I can do that with a scrap, okay? Let's see if I can find a scrap, because I've already got one made. Okay. Trying to make it ahead of time, just kind of save space, or save time. Okay, so this one actually is 11 inches long. You can cut this off. This is like 4 1/4, so it's a good length. So all I did is whenever I started to make this particular one, right here, all I did is I start over at 2, and then I'm making these right here a 1/2 inch tall. So I went from 2 to 2 1/2 to 3. That's our first hinge. This is the hinge system. Okay, so there we go. Got that good. Now I'm going to have a 1/4 inch gusset. So I'm going over 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to do a 1/2 inch again. So here we go. There's a 1/2. And then you go over another 1/2 inch. Which that one is 3 1/4. 3 3/4, 4 1/4. Okay, so I've got two wider spots here. That's 1 hinge, 2 hinge, and then a 1/4. Moving over to the next one. So what you're going to do is start at 2 and then go 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4. And then you're going to do 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more. So a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch. And so whenever I created this particular one right here, I just left 2 inches on each end. So I've got a little bit left, so all you're going to need to do is put it under your paper trimmer, or you can leave it that long if you want, and just cut it off 2 inches from this line, okay? So that's how it is. So just remember, I start at 2. You can, however much you want, but go over 2 inches, 1/2 inch, score a 1/2 inch, a 1/2 inch and a 1/4, 1/2, 1/2, 1/4, 1/2, 1/2, 1/4, 1/2, 1/2, 1/4, 1/2, 1/2, and then you have your end, okay? And then you're gonna flip it over like this, and you're just gonna kind of fold them up, and they become little mountains. So in between the lines in between the halves, that's where you're gonna fold these up just like this, okay? I've done this several times, so most of you, I know that if you've seen my videos or if you make albums, you probably know how to do this. So there we go. And just like this, there we go. So what you're now going to do is, because see these right in the side of each one, you're going to put some tape. I'm just going to do one since I already have one made. And you're going to put tape or glue on one side of the hinge. Then you're going to peel it off, and you're just going to press really well. Like this. And see, and there you go. And what you'll do is you'll put a piece of tape like on one side of each of the halves. And that's how you, and then when you're done, you kind of press them all together really well, and that's how you get this hinge system. Okay? So that's how you do that. Let's get on with this. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this adhered onto our album. And what I did too is I made sure whenever I did this and I measured everything, I have like a 1/2 inch on, I believe a 1/2 inch. Let me double check. It starts at 2. Yeah, you're gonna leave it where it's like a 1/2 inch or about a 1/2 inch on each side, and you're gonna tape it down or glue it down in the center of your album. Let's get that done really fast. Get some tape. You can use glue, whatever you prefer. This pair of scissors with the green handle, I've cut so much sticky stuff with it, y'all, it doesn't even want to work very well. I'm going to kind of press my things down. I want to be able to get this tape on here. It's hard to cut because they stick. I need to clean it is what I need to do. I'm going to add some a little bit smaller one cut down in the middle here. I've watched multiple tutorials on this, and a lot of them that I have watched, they do put glue and their tape because it just makes it more sturdy. If you make albums, let me know what you prefer, the best method for you to do. I'm going to add a couple smaller ones in between here since I have a little bit of gap here. I hope we get to have craft fairs. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. It's just so much fun. One day, one of my friends, or one of my nieces actually, I'm getting this pressed down really well, y'all. One of my nieces, she wrote me and said, "Auntie, and I found you on YouTube. You were easy to find. That's awesome." And I said, "Well, thank you." And y'all, she was proud to find me and everything. And my daughter said, "Yeah, you know," and she does craft fairs and she meets lots of people. It was just so exciting to be able to know that I have met people that I try to teach them something on my channel. Most of these people, they probably know more than me. You know, they do. Like, I was just so blessed this last craft fair to have a few people that I had never even met before come, but I know they follow me, and it was just such a blessing. Like Miss Becky, thank you so much again for coming. I mean, it was so nice. Becky, oh my goodness, I can't make an album like her. That lady is just absolutely amazing. Y'all, one of these days, she might break down and get a channel, and she can just make it all about albums because she is that good. It's just kind of like, let me think here for a second. I didn't meet this person, but Kelly Stone. She is Southern Scrapbooking, I believe is her channel name. Y'all, she makes albums like she's a professional. It's amazing, amazing. Okay, now that I've got my adhesive on there, you can put glue on the back if you want. In fact, I might go ahead. It's kind of sticking to me everywhere. I might go ahead. I just want to make sure. Just get some. I want to make sure that are mostly around these edges. Okay, if I can do this without sticking everywhere. But yes, Southern Scrapbooking. She's here on YouTube. She's in my craft group. Y'all, she's just learning, growing her channel. I'm sure she would love it if you would check her out. And oh my goodness, she can make albums so beautifully. And she's like Miss Becky. Becky doesn't have a channel, but maybe one day she will. Okay, I'm going to eyeball this, kind of put it in the center. Trying to make sure I put it even. Press it down really well. You see, that's not too bad. Not too bad. Let me get this pressed down really good. Make sure it sticks. Then I'm going to let this part dry for a second. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry for a second. Let me show you how I've done the pages. If you watched my Christmas album video, it's the same technique. I'm just changed the dimensions of everything because my cards were smaller. And I thought I would just bring you along. So I'm going to leave it just like this. I got glue on my fingers, y'all. Okay, let's put this to the side. So as you see here, I've already got 5 made. And I'm going to show you how to do the envelope technique, but I won't put decorative paper on it. I'll let you just do that. I think that you know how to add the paper and so forth. Or maybe I'll just show you one. I don't know. I think I'll just, yeah, I'll just tell you what I did. How about that? Kind of save time on this video, y'all. Sorry for being iffy right now. I'm just kind of thinking my way through the process here. Okay, so for these, I used these A2, I think these were A2 size. Yep, they were A2 size cards and envelopes. Got these at Tuesday morning. This is the pack. Okay, have them in my stash. Now, the other album that I made, I used a little bit different envelopes, but this one I did find I have the A2s. And using the A2 envelopes and having the envelope going over like this instead of like the V in the back and all that, it's much easier. The other one I did, I had the other kind of envelopes. So all you're going to do, you're going to take 2 envelopes for 1 page. Actually, it's more than 1 page, but I guess you can just... And then all you're going to do right here where these meet, you're going to trim it. So there's 1. This is the hard part for me. I just want to make sure I get it as even as I can. So there we go. So this for the first one, you're going to fold the flap backward. And I learned this originally from my sister Scrubber. She had a wonderful video on how to do this, make the envelopes, pages like this. That's where I learned it. So for these flaps, you put a little tape on them and tape them down, okay? Put that to the side. For this one, let's cut the same way. I'm gonna go over. Go over. And just like this. And for this particular one, okay, so I want to make sure that you're not missing anything. Hopefully I haven't got out of frame here. For this particular one right here, it's going to need to go down inside. So use a little tape runner or some glue or something just to hold it in place. And push it down inside the envelope. Okay, so now you're looking like this. Now you're going to take this other envelope and you're going to put it in the front. Okay, and what I do is I put in the front, I'm gonna make sure they're together, lined up. And then what I do is I kind of hold it in place, and I hold this flap, and I'm going to put a little bit of tape runner on here, just like this, while I've got it held in place. And then a little bit there. And then I just kind of reached over here and stuck this down inside. You can put this down inside first, or you can not. Let's get that down again. Just like this. So now this is how I made the pages. So you'll have a pocket here, you'll have a pocket here, and my friends, you'll have a pocket here. So that's how these end up looking. And the paper just gorgeous, so fun. So I have a pocket here, and I have a pocket here. You can put whatever you want on there. You can have there's a photo mat over here, and then you also have this here. Now I did not put any paper back here yet. I've already got it pre-cut because you have to attach this to the hinge system first. Okay, so on this particular one, what I did as far as, let me see if I got some scraps here. What I did as far as like adding the paper to the envelopes, what I do is I measure it off, and I just kind of tape it down right up inside. You don't need a whole piece for this if you don't want to. So what I did is I did this. Sorry, I know it's not straight, but that's okay. Just wanted to hold it in place. So I just kind of fold it up, press it down inside, line it up. I would have showed you every little page, but I mean, this could be like a 3-part video again, and I didn't want to do that. And there you go. Now you've got the first one. Now for the decorative pages, what I did is after I put this color, I added a decorative papers in there. Okay, here's one right here. So I added a decorative one, and I just put it where it's tucked down inside, and it actually just leaves a little pink hanging over. So that's all you need to do on that. Let's see if I've got another one. I don't want to cut this big scrap here. Okay, here, let's try this one. And even though this one has the hole, it's okay. It's gonna be down inside. So you just kind of measure it, and as you see, these were scraps from the one already made. And you're just gonna tape it down, and you're gonna leave it where it's just like this. And then for the bottom one, you're gonna put your pink piece, and then you're going to do the same thing for the bottom one, just like that. And that's how we got our mats looking like this. Okay? Okay, so if you need to watch that a little bit more in detail, you can check out my Christmas album video. I go step by step on there. I didn't skip over and try to make it a little quicker. So anyway, let's get on with this. Okay, so I'm going to make sure everything can fold good. Just kind of work it. Get those little paper fibers working. Looks pretty good. Everything looks glued down. Looks like it's adhered really well. And there we go. Actually, let's go ahead and do the pages. So the hard part is going to be to decide which color you want to put where. And I really do love this one the most. It's my favorite. So I'm going to put in the front. And we're going to be adhering it to the hinges, where the hinge is on the back of that paper, and then you'll cover this with paper. Okay, so we're going to need to add some double-sided tape, some good tape. I'm going to use the score tape. Okay, and you're going to need to put the tape. Let me get my big one, my bigger one. I need like the 1/2 inch deal here. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add my tape. Get that pressed down real good. press it down really good. It's going to go on the front like this, okay? So you only need to put a piece of tape on the fronts. So I'm going to stop my camera for a second and add tape to the rest of them. Okay, got my tape on the front of each one of my hinges. This is going to be my first one. So remember, you're not going to put it up inside, you're going to put it on the back. So I'm going to start with the front one. I'm going to do my best to get these lined up as straight as I can. Let me see how it works for me to do it this way. Sorry, I got to turn it around here so I can see what I'm doing here. You want to put it down not where it's touching the crease. You want it right above the crease. So hopefully I didn't get too much tape like right on, and I've got to see what I'm doing here. Okay, got that pressed down. Now that I've got it pressed down in the spot it needs to go, I'm just gonna attach it just like that. And now I got my first page, y'all. Look at that, doesn't that look good? When you're done with all these, use your bone folder, press this down super well, and we're gonna be able to work on the rest of this book. Okay, let's just go with the next one. Since I did that color, let's just go in order of what I've got here. Let me turn it back around. Oh, and I peeled it off all the way that time. Didn't follow my own idea. Do the best I can here. Okay, there's the next one. Let's go with this blue one. Gonna be good, and remember not to peel my tape all the way off this time. That way I can line it up better. Okay. Sorry, I know I had it a little bit away from you. Gotta see what I'm doing, my friends. Okay. I think I got it a little bit too far down. I can gently pull that back out. That's a nice thing about not having the tape all the way. You don't want it sitting on that crease, okay? You want it sitting right above it. Okay, I'm gonna hold this in place. Make sure it's still looking good and get this pressed down. And there we go. This one right here, I got a little bunched up right here. I think I'm gonna peel this back. Let me see if I can work it. So I got them all straight. This one just feels a little tight on me here. And they're pretty straight, so I'm just gonna keep going. I'll work on this when I'm done. Yeah. Okay, let's get the next one. Let's go with this one. Okay, got that in line. Let's press down. Got one more page, and we'll have our pages in. Okay, let me get this peeled off. Looks pretty good. There's all my pages have been installed. Gonna go through and want to make sure that everything is pressed down really, really well. You use your bone folder, just use your fingers, make sure it's good and sturdy. So there we go. We got all our pages in now. So for the back of our pages, it's a little stiff right now. I've already pre-cut these, so what you're going to need to do, let me see this first one here. I think I'll put this color. Let me see what's on the front. Yeah, that'll be good. I want to make sure I'm not putting the same color. Excuse me, y'all. I've got this slight cough. It's been one of these lingering coughs since I was sick. It mainly comes at nighttime. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get you some tape. Get my tape. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stop my camera again. I'm going to get my tape down on all the pieces. That way you don't have to just watch me tape. I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead, put tapes on all the back of them, went ahead and adhered all the ones to the back of the pages. And I left one so I could show you what I'm doing. So here I've just put tape around all sides. And I went ahead and normally I don't peel the tape off completely right away, but you can pretty much eyeball this. It's not too hard. I'm just gonna get this peeled off. And then all I did is I kind of measured this up against the edge of the page. And it actually fit perfectly. And there you go. So now each one of the pages, let me see this. These measure, the decorative pieces measure like 4 1/4. And then it's by, let me see if I can get this exactly without, maybe 5 3/4. All you need to do is measure it up because everybody's envelopes are going to be different. So now look here, it looks good. Got my pages all adhered in there. It's looking good. Now let's go ahead and get the insides and the cover done. And yeah, that's how you pretty much construct it. It's really good inside the middle there. I like it. Okay, so for my album, I'm going to use these. This is the last 3 pieces of paper I have in that collection. I think I'm going to use this one for the cover. So let me go ahead really fast and get some tape down here. I'm just going to use my tape runner for this one. Make sure you get it up close to the edge. Don't miss the paper like I just did. Okay. Y'all, these are time-consuming projects, but boy is it amazing in the end. Let me just tell you. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to eyeball it, line it up along the edge of my album. And there we go. Yeah, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Look pretty? So pretty. I think I'm going to use, let me see here. I have this one and this one left. That, or I think this right here, that would look good. The other side, let's see, that could go okay. I think I'll do the chevron. And so what I'm going to do for this piece, I'm just going to wrap it around, and I like to wrap mine around. And I like to make it where it overhangs about 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to kind of cut a little bit of it off so I can make this one work and get this adhered. I'm just going to go over here and just kind of eyeball it. And so it's going to go in the spine, but let me go ahead and get this other one adhered first. I like this green. I'm not a huge green lover, but I do like lime greens. I like that. It's beautiful. I don't like a forest green. That's not my favorite. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to get this one on. But this one is gorgeous. Okay, so now all I've got left is to cover my spine. Isn't that beautiful, y'all? That's so pretty. Okay, let's cover the spine. Okay, want to do a little bit of extra tape on this one. So, move my paper trimmer here. I like to trim it off. I want to have a nice flat edge on my thing here. I'm gonna get my tape. Get it adhered on. I know this is getting to be long, but this is a process. I'm hoping that I can get this all loaded for y'all in one video. A little bit overhang there, or not enough, so I'm gonna have to add a little glue or some extra tape. That's okay, I can add some glue. A little bit on the edges here. Got all these different sizes. The best one out of all this tape is the score tape. It's this one right here. It's the best one to me. Okay, make sure everything's pressed down really well. Let's go ahead and we're gonna start with the edge. Okay, I'm gonna start with this edge. And I've got a little bit, it needs a little bit of tape right there, but I think I'm gonna try to see if I can get this on here, get this on before. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of measure how I want it. It's gonna go like that. Just gonna bring it over about an inch and a half, line it up. Looks pretty good. Nothing is perfect, y'all. See that spine? Nothing is perfect. We're just gonna do the best we can. I'm gonna go ahead and peel off the rest of this tape now that I got it lined up. Okay, so since I got it lined up, I'm just gonna bring it, fold it, and I'm gonna bring it and fold it. This is a little bit wider on the back, but I'm okay with that. It's okay. It's on the back. It's gonna be fine. Because I have a little bit shorter area here than here. I could do a bigger strip of paper like I do to make it more even. Yeah, I'm about an inch. If I peel it off, it's gonna ruin my book. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just add a decorative trim there, like I normally do, make it even. And there we go. Look at that, how it's looking. Okay, so I'm gonna cut myself some decorative trim to kind of make this kind of as even as I can. Or I'll see if I can peel it up. I don't wanna break it, y'all. I should not even worry about it. Should not even worry about it. Okay, so let me get some decorative trim and go ahead and get some pages cut for the inside, and I'll be back. So I went ahead, and what I did is I had this extra strip left over. So I'm gonna put this one on the back. I'm gonna put it back here. But to fix my mistake, I'm gonna just line it up with the edge of this. I've got it cut 1 inch. The other one, I'm gonna let it be on top of the other paper. And I think it's going to work. Let me get this peeled off. And I think it's gonna be just fine. If you ever make a mistake like I did, not making it as even or whatever, don't lose faith. Just keep going. It can be fixed, you know? Unless you've cut a huge, gigantic hole in the middle. Yeah, it can be fixed. So this is what I'm gonna do. line this up. I wished I had more of this plaid to put on the other side, but I don't. So got a little bit of glue right there. Press this down. See, it kind of cut it off right there, so it's going to be fine. And it will fold underneath because now I'm going to add paper. And then for this one, since it was a little shorter, I found this yellow sheet. Now I'm having to go over to another 6x6, and I'm going to line it up a little bit farther out, so that way then I can make it look even. And then these are just, of course, 1x6 strips. Just going to do the best I can. That way then it kind of lines up a little better. Didn't get it as straight as I wanted it to be. Okay, so that's pretty even with the back too. Now, see, fix my mistake, saved the album. So now I have an extra little strip, a little wider than I normally do. I usually put a little pinstripe, just a thinner one, and I can still do that. I can make a little skinny strip of pink. This is your album. Do whatever you want. I'm going to cut myself a little bit of pink. I want to see what that's going to look like. You can do it here or here. I think I'll leave it off. I think I'm going to like it just without it. Okay, so there is the cover. And what I'll do is I'll put a cut apart or something pretty on the front. I'm going to come back and show y'all the finished result. And then I'm also, the last thing I need to do for this part is to add some paper. Sorry for my arm, y'all. Add some paper on the inside. I'm going to have to move into this paper collection since it's kind of a lot of the same, the same colors a little bit. So I think I'll use these. I like the popsicles. Perfect. It's going to look good. Okay, so there. What do you think of that? Okay. Okay, it's going to be popsicles on this one. If I have another popsicle in here, I'll do the same thing. I like it because it's a summer type album. I know it's got many colors going on. Yep, I got another one. So I'm going to put those in the front and the back. Maybe, unless I change my mind. I do love this too. This is beautiful. Let me just kind of glance through. I think I'll do the popsicle since it is a summer album. I think I will. I'll do the popsicles and I'll put maybe some green, some lime green for the pockets. With a little touch of pink, of course. Okay. Let's see if I've got another one of those. Yep. Got this paper and it's almost gone already. Okay, so now let me go ahead. I'm going to get this trimmed up and I'll show you what the final result of this is. Okay, so I've already cut this and all I did was measure it up. It's 6 inches in length because it's a 6x6 paper pad, and I just cut it down to the height that it is. I just measured it off and cut it. Add some tape. You can use tape, glue, whatever you prefer. This one's about to run out of tape on me. Have enough to maybe make it. Okay. Here we go, friends. Let's get this on here. Love the popsicles. I can't believe it. Just found this little paper at Tuesday morning. And it goes with my bright, vibrant theme that I'm going with. Look at that. Looks good. Look at how beautiful this is turning out. Now let's cover the back. I got it, my album's a little stiff yet, so I'm just gonna hang on here. Let's get some tape on here. this one on. Looks good. Love those popsicles. Look at that. Oh my God. This is turning out so pretty. It's prettier than I could have imagined. Okay, so I'm gonna finish everything up with decorations, get my card inserts in there, put my pockets on. In my next video, I will show you what it looks like as a completed album. It's turned out so cute. I mean, even with my mistake of not making this straight, look at this. I wished I would have had another one of these. If I found one, I'd probably cover this and put that on there because I'd really rather have this. I do love that plaid, but I think it's just turned out gorgeous. Let's do a quick flip through. This is what it's looking like. You put a photo mats, extra trims, so much more to do on here. And it's so summery and just beautiful. You can add prints and everything, just add it all together. Look at that. And then we got our back page, and I love the popsicles. They are beautiful. There you go, my friends. This is what it's looking like so far. I love it. I love it. It's just turning out just absolutely beautiful. Thanks so much for watching this. Like I said, I am going to put these in my craft fair. So hopefully, if there is a craft fair this year, hopefully, then if I find out there will be one, I'll come back and let you know what I'm going to charge for these. I have to think about it. It's a lot of work, but I'll just kind of play it by ear for right now. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with me. If you stuck with me until the end, let me know. I love it when I find out and people have actually watched the whole thing. But y'all, making things like this doesn't happen like in 5 minutes. It's a time-consuming process. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.